Hello, so it's been over a week. I said that I would update on Sunday, but I didn't update on Sunday for no other reason than yesterday I was being very lazy. I tidied up some of my house, but I spent a majority of the day on my bed, tidying, on my bed, tidying, on my bed, tidying, thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing? So I didn't quit, I handed my notice in of my cleaning job. I did my last day on Saturday, showed a lady around, and for those of you that are following me on Facebook, I did put a little post on there that it's funny how you stop something to invest a bit more time in yourself. And although it's just a cleaning job, it has actually been a bit of a sanctuary for me. It's been somewhere where I can just shut off and just clean. Nobody in my space. It's just been me, myself, and I, and I've actually quite enjoyed that. So it has been, and I've got to be the only person that I know that would be sad to leave a cleaning job in here somewhere, because it has been somewhere where I could just escape. And when I say escape, I mean you all don't underestimate like the sound of a brush just brushing and you just being in the moment and not being anywhere else. It's actually, I really enjoyed it. Nevertheless, I'm putting myself into the passion of what I want to do, and I'm giving this all of me, and I'm spending more time with my son, being there for my son a bit more, which is really good. So this week I just wanted to update on purpose in life. So this year, there's been a lot of discussion with various different people, and I've been in on Zoom calls, I've been on training, and there has been a lot of talk on purpose, about following your purpose in life and being successful within your purpose. Now, for a majority of people, they seem to know what their purpose was and they knew what they were doing and they followed their passion. With me, I know that I want to help people, but my passion is wanting to help people but not really knowing what it is that I can do to help. So a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine sent me a link to a online platform where you can learn things. Okay, so the whole point of me doing what I'm doing is putting myself in situations where I'm bettering myself as a person. I'm gaining more skills to be able to follow what I would like to do. And one of the courses was about purpose in life. Now, instantly I jumped onto that because I've been, on Zoom calls and everybody's been talking about purpose in life and following your purpose. And I've been like, well, what is my purpose? And I've been finding myself, especially the last couple of weeks, really just being present in the moment and being observant, observing people and places and just watching life go by and thinking it's just going by, like, people are just doing the same thing. They're going to the shop, they're getting the milk, or they're doing the garden, or everybody's putting the garden to bed. And as much as I need to be doing things like that, I also need to be investing in my future. And to invest in my future, I need to know what is my purpose. Well, I came across this course, and I will link the course down below if anybody would like to go onto that course. I've not quite finished it yet, but I just wanted to talk about that course because it talks about purpose in life. And on that Think and Grow Rich book, you have to follow your passion. Well, if you don't know what your passion is, or you don't know what your purpose is, how can you follow a passion and have a desire towards it if you're not 100% sure what it is that you want to do? Now, I know that I want to help people, but helping people is like a massive area to, and there's so many things that you can go down, and I will talk about this because there was 7 questions that were asked, and I will just talk about the questions. But first of all, is what is your purpose in life? A purpose in life is a central self-organizing life aim. So what is my life aim? Where do I want to be? Who am I? A purpose is who you are. Like, who am I as a person? And what is your relationship with yourself? What is my relationship with myself? And I will be quite open. I've not really had a relationship with myself for a long time because I've kind of been lost in who I have been as a person. I've not really wanted to have a relationship with me because I didn't really know who I was. So this is all about finding me as a person, and I know this is what I need to do. So there's been a couple of episodes this year where people have said, just do this, just do that. And I cannot be fake with people. I cannot, follow a path that doesn't feel good for me, or it pushes me somewhere where it doesn't fit right here. I wouldn't love to be like that. I was about to say I'd love to be like that, but I wouldn't love to be like that because that wouldn't be me. That is something that I do know, that I have to follow my truth as a person. So the 7 questions, okay. So this is what helps you find your purpose in life, because are conversations that you have with yourself. So one thing to try and figure out who you are as, who you are as a person, what kind of things do you like? And one of the questions is what is on your smartphone, your screensavers, because that gives you an indication on the type of person that you might be. And on my home screen, I've got a picture of Shiva, which is a Hindi god, and I love him. I feel like this year he has changed me so much as a person, because I have started having I was lost so much in life that I didn't have, it's not that I didn't believe that, and I know that there are things past here, I know that from experience that there are things beyond us, but I felt connection with things, and I knew that there was a connection there, but I didn't quite feel the connection. Whereas this year I have felt connection with the Hindi and Shiva anyway. So I've got him on my front screen. I've also got a saying on there, which I will put on the comments underneath, because I think that says a lot about me, that I'm a quite spiritual person, and I like to take my time with things, because I like to I don't like to lead anybody astray. I don't like to try and get something quick. Like I say, that I don't want any falseness. I've been down that road. It's just not me. And what matters, so these are the questions. I drifted off there. So these are the questions. So what matter the most to you? So what matters the most to me are my boys. My boys are my pride and joy, and I love them to pieces. Who relies on you? My boys, Lyndon and Curtis, Odin, and we've recently got 2 hamsters that I also love. Who inspires me? So who inspires me is Sadhguru. just because I love his teachings and I love the way that he explains things. And I think I've not been inspired by anybody for a long time, but he really is somebody that I do inspire. There's just something very relaxing about him. There's something just very open about him. And I honestly feel like I could go to sleep listening to the sound of his voice, and just everything that he says, in my heart, it resonates with me. It makes me, it just makes me feel comforted, or comforted, kind of, in a way that, that there are people that I feel like I can connect with, that what they are talking about actually makes sense to me. I just love listening to him. So if any of you, would like to listen to him, I'll put a link down to his YouTube page. So what causes do you care about? And this one was a hard one to answer, and I've not actually answered it because, to be completely honest with you, there are so many causes in this world, and I wish that I could care about all of them. And I do care about a lot of causes, but it's, what do I care about? Like, what is the one that I would feel passionate about? And I know one of them would be mental health, because I've suffered with mental health. And I hate the word mental health, by the way. When I was younger, I did get the word, what was mentally wrong with you? There's something fucking wrong with you. And, when you hear the word mental health, I don't really think that it's a good term to be using with somebody that struggles mentally, especially when you've had, something like that said to you when you were younger. What's mentally wrong with you? Because I don't know, it's just the way that I process it. I don't think that it's a good word to use. If I could use struggling with your brain or something, or I don't even know. You go through things in life, and nobody's there, are they? Do you know, when you struggle, you've not got somebody that you can turn around and say, I'm really struggling with this, can you help me? Or can you just explain this to me? Or I'm not feeling really good at the moment, can you just elaborate a bit or guide me? I've not really had that. So I think in life, when you struggle with what's going on, I think the one thing that you can, do is, firstly go and ask for help, which, I did. I can't really say that all the help that I got actually helped me, if I'm being completely honest with you. I went and I saw counsellors, and they told me to kind of meditate, picture a shower over your head, and all of this stuff coming off of you and going down. I think anybody that's in the UK knows that if you're going down that kind of side and asking for help, unless you've got the money to pay for somebody, it's not really that easy. They put you on a long waiting list, and it's something that you have to kind of pull yourself out of. And I think I'm very lucky in a way that I've always chosen to look on the positive side. Like, you can't look at negative side when you have to just keep pulling yourself out of it. And anxiety and depression, and I'm going to say this because I've been there, it's a selfish thing. When you suffer with anxiety, it's a selfish thing to suffer with, because you don't want to do anything. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to get up. You don't want to move. You don't want to, I was in like a situation where at certain points I was too scared to leave the house because I thought that something would happen to me and then nobody'd be there for my kids. They'd end up, in foster care. Nobody'd be there to bring them up. I've been in a really bad place previously. Times where I've literally been physically shaking, like my hands. It felt like I was on a vibrating chair. And I can remember going to my GP once and he was trying to tell me that I was suffering with anxiety and depression. And I told him that he was wrong. I thought that I had a brain tumour. I couldn't get my head around how something, after being brought up and being told that it's all in your head. And I had this conversation with somebody, not so long ago, and they turned around and said, well, it is all in your head. But when your body is reacting to something that is in your head and you've been taught, like you've been brought up to say that it's just in your head, get over it. You try and get over something when your body is reacting and you can't snap out of it. It's not a nice feeling. And for anybody that has gone through it, you can get over it. It's not easy when you're going through it, but trust me, if you just allow yourself one day and just, don't be so hard on yourself, because when you're going through stuff like that, it's not nice, and not a lot of people will relate to you when you're going through stuff like that, because like I said, it is a selfish thing. When you're in that mindset, you don't think of anybody. Well, to be fair, you're thinking of everybody else but yourself, and you're exhausted. You can't move physically. It's a struggle to get up. It's a struggle to do anything. Just, be nice to yourself when you're like that, and just know that it is okay. I used to put on headphones and I'd listen to Marissa Peer. If anybody knows her, like, I literally just used to put my headphones in, lie in the bed, and I would listen to free YouTube things with her, and that helped me. If you can, see somebody, then I'd always recommend seeing somebody, and you've got people that you can phone, the Samaritans that are supposed to be there for you. So I suppose that a cause that I do care about is mental health, because I have been there, but equally at the same time it does scare me, because I have been there and it's not a nice place. So it's one of those things where I care about it, but if anybody has been through it, sometimes it can be scary going back onto it. That's what I'm saying. So whether it's the same for everyone, I don't know. I'm just talking from my experience. I can never talk about your experience because I'm not living your life. I'm just living my life. So please don't ever think that I'm trying to preach or trying to say how things are. I can only go by what was for me. I'm not saying what was for you or what works for you, but what works for me, what I felt, what I went through. I'm trying to be a bit more open without being emotional. So the other questions were, what am I grateful for? So I'm grateful for life and my children. I am so lucky that I've got the kids that I've got. Like, Curtis is the most amazing child, and so is Lyndon. Lyndon is absolutely amazing. Curtis is absolutely amazing. Totally different. People who've got kids, you can never compare the two because they are totally different. And I love them both in totally different ways. And they've taught me so much, You're supposed to be able to teach your kids, which I hope that I have. But they also teach you And so the other questions are, what gets you out of bed? To go to work and to pay rent. Now, when I was like thinking about this, what gets you out of bed? So I go to bed, I get out of bed to make sure that I've got money to pay my rent. And then the other times that I get up when I'm not going to work is to spend time with my boys. And then when I actually sat there and I thought about it, what gets you out of bed? It shouldn't be to go to work and pay your rent. There's got to be something more than that. And I know that I have to get up and I've got to pay my rent, and I want to spend time with my boys. Like if I could spend quality time with my boys all the time, I'd love to do that. But the reality is that at the moment I'm at a stage in my life where I have to get up, I have to go to work to pay the rent. But I'm going to be looking a bit more into that, because I think getting up just to go to work to pay rent is what I get out of bed for. That's just not, it's not something that excites you, is it? I mean, I love my job and I love the people I work with, but to get up out of bed just to go to work so I can pay the rent, it's we need to work on that. Then we had, how do I want to be remembered? So how do I want to be remembered? So I want to be remembered as a person who was inclusive and cared. So I would like to be remembered as the person who was inclusive and who cared. So when I say inclusive, I mean somebody that is able to listen to all aspects, okay, and not just judge a situation on what somebody said. Inclusive as in, we're all beings. So if you're watching me, I'm assuming you're a being. Years to come, you might be something else, but I won't be here. So I would like to be remembered as somebody who was inclusive and who cared. And how do you want to be remembered is the most important question, because that leaves you onto your purpose, because the person that you want to be remembered by is kind of the road that leads you into being the person that you want to be, and that is the road that I'm going down. So for anybody that chooses to turn around, this is just totally out of the blue. I know a lot of people have turned around and said that they've seen my mum on my chats and stuff like that. It's not my mum, it's just me. It's because I've not worn makeup and I do look older, and there's nothing wrong with being old, because we're all going that way, and it's a privilege to get old and it's a privilege to get wrinkles, and I'm going to embrace being old, because when we age, it's truly a remarkable thing. When we age, I can't wait to see my hands wrinkle. I can't wait to see them age. I want to spend my time here as a person, but I don't think that we should be scared of aging. Aging's a beautiful thing, and although I don't want to age right now, I don't think that we should be sad of aging. So thank you for the people that are saying that it's my mum. It's not, it's me. Just don't have any makeup, and I look older because I've not got makeup on. And there was another part, which was, what do you want on your headstone? So death is inevitable, and it's the one thing that makes us think about life and makes us think about living, is we're not guaranteed tomorrow. A lot of people turn around and say they're going to live forever. You can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee that I'm going to live forever. And because I can't guarantee that I can't live forever, I need to start living in the moment, and I need to start living now. And what do I want on my headstone? What do I want on my headstone? So I'll definitely be mum of 2, I may be a mum of another one years to come. I don't know. I've contemplated with the fact that maybe I may want kids again. I didn't think that I would. But never say never. What do I want on my headstone? So We don't live forever. What do I want to put on my headstone? So these are all things that I'm going to ponder in a bit more. And I just wanted to share with you that I am, doing things in the background, but it's not like massive things. Like, I'm not going to big corporate meetings. I'm not meeting like people and I'm signing deals or anything like that, because I'm just at the beginning of my journey. And the beginning of my journey is figuring out who I am as a person, to know in order what direction that I want to go in. I said not so long ago that I didn't know what my favourite colour was. I wanted to investigate that a bit more. And I'm actually going to enjoy doing things like that, because I'm getting to know me as a person. I'm getting to know what I really like. I also turned around and I said, I've told a lot of people that I'm not ready to be with anybody. I don't want to be with anybody. It's not a selfish thing. I want to know more about myself. I want to improve myself as a person, because at the moment, I've spent years of my life feeling that I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to be married. I'm not good enough to, be with the right one. And if I was to be in any relationship now, it would not be fair on that other person, because I don't want to go into my next relationship feeling that I'm not worth, or I'm not worth enough. Like, I want to go into my next relationship feeling that I know who I am as a person, and being happy with who I am as a person, and being able to take that into my relationship, being confident with who I am as a person. So all of this is all heading towards where I want to go. And I constantly say that it doesn't just happen like that, because it shouldn't just happen like that. They say that Rome wasn't built in a day. It wasn't built in a day. And there was something else that was mentioned as well in the course, and that was, if we were to live forever, what would we do? What would you do? If we were to live forever, if it was guaranteed that we were to live forever, we wouldn't take like the beauty in the little things, would we? It'd be like, oh, it doesn't matter, that I'm going to be fine tomorrow. It's not as if I'm going to die. Or, I don't think that there would be any care for anything. I don't know, that's just my opinion. It's a good thing that, we don't live forever. Not on this planet anyway. We move on, but life comes and it goes. So that's just going to be it. I will jump onto a live soon on my Facebook page, because this weekend is this weekend, and that's just the update. I am figuring out who I am as a person, and these were just some things that I am, doing, that is taking me towards finding my passion, what it is that I want to do, like what is my purpose in life. I know that my purpose in life is to help people. Well, what type of people do I want to help? Like, where am I going? I hope this has made sense. Sometimes I do go on a bit too much, but the whole point is that we figure out who we are as a person, and then we can put our desire and our passion and our focus into what it is that we want to do. But there's pointless me following a passion, or because I don't even know what I'm passionate about. So that would be me, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this, and then a couple of minutes later or a couple of days later my brain's just dead because I don't really care about it. So it's finding out who I am as a person in order to find out what my passions are, to be able to put my desires and what it is that I want to do, and just focusing on that, and then nothing else but that. So that was the update, and I will see you on live in a couple of minutes or in about half an hour. I will try and schedule it at the same time every day. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you Sunday. Bye.